Alright, I'm making this video on the screen repair of an iPad 2. It's a Wi-Fi edition, so there's no antennas up here for data. There is a Wi-Fi antenna here, and there's cables over here I've got to watch out for. So, first of all, we've got to heat it up. Normally, I would use a heating table or a hot plate like that. This iPad has got a rubber backing put on it, and I don't want to mess that up. So I'm going to use the older method of hot air to loosen the glue and get this thing off. It's a lot more work actually, but I need to do it this way to protect this little girl's backing. With the hot plate, this whole thing would be getting hot at the same time. And with this, as I move around, it's cooling off in these areas over here, so it's not as effective. And I got to really concentrate on probably one more localized area, maybe in this corner here. Alright, it's coming up. Make sure I'm not catching the antenna. It sticks to the bottom of this glass here. See, it's already cooling off. I'm going to have to just do it in the immediate area and work it and then move around. It's probably getting hot. this antenna. See, now I've got it off the glass. I needed to watch that. And now that I'm safely clear from that, really wish I had the table for this job. The hot plate, much better solution. Now that I've got the LCD exposed, it's a good time to put on gloves. We've got to keep that thing clean, and every little fingerprint is hard to get off, and these things are so fragile. Even wiping it down could crack it, so preventing the fingerprints in the first place is the goal here. Now, this LCD, or the digitizer, excuse me, is toast, so I'm going to get it out of the way. Clipping the flex cable. I may need that. Let's put this aside. Wi-Fi antenna. Let's get this out of here. Now, you don't want to rush right in and take the LCD out, unplug it, and go about your business. First thing you need to do once you get the LCD up is you need to disconnect it from the battery. If you don't, very good chance, probability that you're going to short out your backlight filter, and then your LCD won't be visible until you do a board level repair with micro soldering. So as soon as you get this open, you undo the battery first thing. Which is right here. I've taken a guitar clip, and you can see how I cut that centerpiece out. If I can straddle where that screw was, it'll lift the connector from the battery and disconnect it just like that. So now it is disconnected, and I can disconnect the LCD now. Now you're going to want to set this somewhere nice and safe and flat. You've got bubble wrap. It's a good thing to go ahead and zip that out, make it cushiony, put it on there. Use the bubble wrap that came with your digitizer. Alright, so now let me clean up my workspace a little. Get a new can of air. Now I've got to go through and get all this leftover glass and glue off. This has been repaired before. I see aftermarket adhesives here that I'm going to have to get off. It's important to get all of this off. You know, it's got to be completely cleaned before you put the new digitizer on, or it's not going to sit flat and you'll have problems and dust will get underneath. Alright, well, when the phone rings, the camera stops. I had a customer call. Got another iPad on its way. Alright, let's get this glue off. Even a little glob of this can hold your screen up, so you need to make sure you don't leave any globs of glue anywhere. Go all the way around checking the lip. It needs to be able to hold the glass. If it's bent in anywhere, you got to bend it back out. And you really got to pay attention to the corners because they take a beating and they get bent in all the time. This one's going to need some hammering work. Sometimes we'll get iPads in here that are bent. This one seems to be okay. And we've got some C-clamps and blocks that we use to straighten out the iPad. A lot of times the corner will be bent up. We've got a method for bending just the corner back down. If you don't, the glass won't sit flush and you'll have problems. So luckily this one is not that bad. It's just the digitizer really. I need to inspect the corners real well though. Like this one's, it is bent in a little. I can see that that's going to be a little bit of a problem. I've got a frame that I have to put in here and it's got to fit flush. some tape on here, some metal conductive tape. Looks like it did break free from the screws. That's an easy repair. All right. Now let's get this rest of this digitizer cable out. There's two little doors you got to flip up to release the cable, and it's glued down a little. There we go. That's just trash. Alright, let's see here. The rest of it's looking pretty good. Oh, wait. Found something. Needs a little work. See, that lip was hanging in just far enough to keep the screen from going down. This will ensure that it does go down. That's pretty good. This one's a little bit. That one looks perfect. All right. I think we're good on the glass. All right, let's see. Alright, this is the bezel that it sits in. I believe this is for an iPad 3. We're working on an iPad 2. They do fit exactly. I like them better because they don't have that little corner piece with a hole that you have to line up. And if you don't have it, it doesn't work. This is more forgiving. Sits in there easier. We'll have to do a dry run. Place it. Make sure all looks well. It does. Alright, now we need to use some double-sided sticky tape to get that bezel to stay down. Hold it up a little bit. So I'm going to put a strip along all the way around. Alright, then you pull off the adhesive, the backing, so it's sticky. Sorry, I should have done this earlier. I see a little bit of glass. You want to use your spudger and push all the way around to make sure it's all the way as far over as it can be. Like this one's not. Raise it a little. Push it against the wall as it sticks down. Alright. Now that that's on there, I need to go ahead and do my red tape, which is really sticky stuff. Help hold. Alright. Let's put some red tape on here to get the screen not to pop up. Alright, we're going to leave that on there until we've done some testing now, make sure our digitizer and LCD are working fine. So, now, we need to test it. Let's something heavy here, like this right here. Actually, I don't need that. Let me cut that out of there. I'm going to use my phone. Hold this up level. So I can plug this in. Be careful and work it in from both sides. You don't want to go one side too far and bend something. Once you have it in, you need to bend those two doors back down. They clamp on and hold the thing in place. Now, a big part of this, having this a successful repair, is to make sure that this cable gets tucked up underneath, so it would go around the LCD. That looks pretty good. Light, stay. All right. Make sure that the LCD is completely clean. Probably be good to have a really light, feathery brush, which I don't have right now, but I do have a micro cloth that I can brush real lightly. Just make sure, hold it under a light. If you see any fingerprints or glass or anything, you need to clean it. And there's some cleaner called Perfect Glass that you rub on there and it comes right up. This one, I was able to keep really clean. I don't see anything on it. Little spot here, and that's gone now. Alright, so plug this back in before connecting the battery. And this is tricky. It will give you a lot of room to play with this cord. Once it's in there, you fold the lever back over and it's locked in place. Now, I'm going to go ahead and hook the battery back up. Pull that out. Screw back in. Set everything back in place. And when I did that, I put a little mark on it. Make sure you use the brand new clean cloth and not one with glass on it. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's close this, do a dry run. Now it's important that this cable folds down between the LCD and the frame, so you may have to show it where to go with your spudger. Just like that. around, press in, make sure that you've got a good fit. Now this is just for testing, looks good. So let's go ahead and turn it on. Boot all the way up. We can tell we didn't burn out a backlight filter because we can see it. Let's see. Alright, we're going to want to test the up and down. You can see the volume's working, so we didn't damage the cable in this upper area here. We're going to want to test the digitizer by grabbing an icon and swirling everywhere with it. If it drops out of your finger in the same spot more than once, you know you've got a dead spot or a problem somewhere. It's kind of hard with gloves on. You got to go a little slower, but it looks good. So, alright, let's test the home button. Push this down. Alright, home button works. Let's test the volume. Volume up. Volume down. Mute. They all work. So, lock button. Then you want to grab an icon, drag it everywhere. Make sure it doesn't drop out of your finger. If it does in the same spot more than once, you have a problem, a dead spot, or an issue you need to look into. This one's looking good. Alright, so let's stick this one together and close it up. Turn it off again. It's time to take the sticky stuff off. Alright. There's some that's on the digitizer itself that needs to come off, and then there's of course what you put on. So get that off however you see fit. Really? There we go. All right, don't forget this cable, that's the important thing. So you want to not put that side down until you have the right side down first. Line up your corners. Get your glove out of there. Push into the corner. Come back with your spudger, make sure it's folding in the right direction. And then come in and press down everywhere. Now, we'll put clamps on it here in a minute. Let's make sure, after doing another test. All right, I'm back in there. All right, looks good. Home button works. All right, so now go ahead and turn it off and let's clamp this thing closed so that glue, I might even need to heat it up a bit. Doesn't look like it wants to stick real good right there. We'll go around about every 2 inches, every inch. Alright, when the phone rings, it turns off the camera every time. Alright, I'm going to want to leave this for about 30 minutes or an hour. Whenever the client comes back, I'll take it off and give it to her. And that's how you do it and get a good seal. Thanks for watching.